Let's go.
Welcome to the Top of Your Game podcast with Dr. Floyd. The show is dedicated to helping you grow, thrive, and do your best work. Dr. Floyd believes there's greatness within you, and the show is designed to help you live your dream, do your best work, and leave a legacy. Now, here's Dr. Floyd.
Welcome back to another episode of the Top of Your Game podcast, the podcast for high achievers ready to unlock their greatness and become unstoppable in life and work. I'm your host, Dr. Floyd. Today's episode addresses the topic, busy but not better. Busy but not better. There's something I've been noticing everywhere. Different countries, different jobs, different levels of success, but the same experience. People are busy. Their days are full, their calendars are packed, and their phones never stop. They're responding, reacting, managing, solving, fixing. From the outside, it looks like progress. But internally, something doesn't match. Because despite of the activity, a lot of people are not actually getting better. Not better in focus, not better in clarity, not better in discipline, not better in direction, and definitely not better in life. And that raises a serious question. Why are so many people busy but not better? Let's go deeper. Most people don't realize this, but they are not truly directing their lives. They are reacting to them. Something comes in, you respond. Someone needs something. You respond. A notification shows up, you shift attention. A problem appears, you handle it. And none of that is wrong. Yes, life requires response. But here's the issue. When reaction becomes your default way of living, you stop leading your life and you start living inside your life, just responding to whatever shows up. And over time, something subtle happens. You stop feeling like the author of your direction and start feeling like you're just inside the system trying to keep up. That shift is dangerous. Yes, that shift is dangerous because high performance is not built in reaction. It's built in direction. And direction requires awareness. It requires space. It requires control over attention. But what's really happening here? Here's what's going on. Most people think their problem is time, but time is not the issue. No, time is not the issue. Attention is the issue. Because where your attention goes, your life follows. Let me repeat, where your attention goes, your life follows. The average person today is constantly switching tasks, switching thoughts, switching conversations, switching notifications, switching responsibilities. And every switch has a cost, not just time, but mental energy, emotional bandwidth, and focus. And here's what most people don't realize. You don't grow in scattered attention. You grow in sustained attention. But modern life is designed to fragment your attention. So even when someone is working hard, very little of that effort goes deep enough to create real transformation. That's why people say things like, I'm busy, but I'm not really moving forward. I'm doing a lot, but I don't feel like I'm improving. That's not confusion, that's fragmentation. If you zoom out and look at most people's days, it follows a loop. Wake up, immediate mental load, phone notifications, messages, work begins, interruptions, switching tasks, pressure builds, rushing increases, mental fatigue sets in, evening exhaustion, sleep, repeat. And because this cycle is normal, people assume this is just life. But something important is missing inside this pattern. There is almost no space to think, no space to reflect, no space to evaluate, no space to reset direction. And without reflection, people don't pause to ask, am I actually moving in the right direction? Am I becoming who I want to become? Or am I just staying busy enough to feel productive? So time passes, but growth feels slow. Not because people aren't capable, but because they are never still long enough for clarity to form. And without clarity, there is no real progress, only motion. If you study people who genuinely improve over time, here's what you notice. You notice something simple but powerful. They don't do more, they do less, but with precision. They simplify their focus, they reduce unnecessary inputs, they eliminate noise, and they commit to fewer things long enough for mastery to develop because they understand something most people ignore. Growth doesn't happen in activity, it happens in attention. Whatever you consistently focus on begins to shape your thinking, your habits, your identity, and eventually your results. So the real question is not how do I become more productive? The real question is what deserves my attention long enough to actually change my life? Because most people are not lacking effort. They are just lacking focus that lasts. So here's the truth. Most people are not stuck because they are lazy. They are stuck because they are constantly pulled in too many directions. And when attention is scattered, life feels busy, but progress slows down. But when attention becomes focused, even small attention, even small actions begin to compound in real transformation. So the shift is not about doing more, it's about choosing less, choosing it intentionally. Because in the end, people don't transform their lives by doing everything. They transform their lives by focusing long enough for change to happen. Now, if this episode resonated with you, don't just let it stay as information. Take action on it because insight without action doesn't change your life. It just fills your mind. Thanks for tuning in today to another episode of the Top of Your Game podcast. Until next time, live your dream, do your best work, and leave a legacy. Let's get after it.
Let's go.